Ooh. Buenos días, señoritas. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
good.
okay, we're going to jump right into creativity. And here's what I want to say. When it comes to creativity, this is kind of my motto because everybody has different ways of being creative, different relationships with it. And we're going to explore a little bit of that today and through this month and through these months and years together. But logistics, I said this yesterday and I blew my own mind. I'm pretty sure I didn't come up with it because it's just too good. It's got to be a bumper sticker somewhere. Logistics can make you lethargic, and emotion gets you in motion. I think that's true for all of life, but that's one highly creative, highly sensitive, wild, ADHD, messy human over here saying that. So, specifically, I can go all in and put all my chips down on when it comes to creativity, logistics make you lethargic and emotion gets you into motion. So, make no mistake, you are being creative all the time, all the time. And I would say I probably use the word creativity like many people use the word spirituality or even God or consciousness. So we'll probably have to unpack some of that and see what your definitions are. But to me, spirit, cosmic universe going all the time, creativity going all the time. Even when we're like, I don't feel very creative, I'm not a very creative person, that's you and creativity creating not creative. Or when you think you're stuck, you're creating stuck. And I don't mean you like it's your fault. I just mean that's you and creativity doing this thing called stuck. So here's the great news. There are many, infinite ways that can help you get unstuck or get you tapping into creativity or spirit. And we'll talk about all of them, especially as they show up in your life. But I'm going to give you three today just to add to your, not even like toolbox. That's so weird to say the word toolbox with the word creativity to me. But one of the ways you are always creating is that you are always making things mean things. You're either making them mean something that works for you or against you. Now, I know some of us like devil's advocate or caveat people are like, well, what if I just am kind of neutral about something? We're going to put neutral in the category of for you. Okay, it can just work for you unless you're like, wait, it doesn't feel like it's working for me. Then it's working against you. Okay, that's how like subtle and quick creativity works. So, what you are making things mean, I don't, we can talk about what you're making things mean as we go through individual examples and working on creativity. But for right now, I just want you to get that you're always either making it mean something that works for you and serves you and helps you in your greatest good, or you're making something mean something that's against you and poops on you and makes you get stopped. Okay? That's the two ways it can go. Now, the second thing I want to offer you is have you ever heard the saying, nature abhors a vacuum? Okay. Really? I love that I'm seeing at least the shaking head of no, because I would have assumed, I thought that was like, I don't know, I thought that was taught to me in church or something when I was a kid. So it's not widely known, but it's kind of a more sciency, cosmic sort of thing, I think. But the example that I want to give you is just look at our homes, our houses, our spaces. How easy is it for stuff to get filled in to every nook and cranny unless we are being careful to give stuff away, organize things? It's kind of along the lines of the chaos theory. Like everything's moving into entropy, right? Or like disorganization. And we have to apply energy to a system to keep it organized, to keep it actually not having too much stuff. So, one thing I want you to consider when it comes to creativity is it's easy to think that we have to create something in a way that makes us feel like we're creating something new or expanding outwards. And that can kind of feel exhausting, especially if we're tired, overworked, feeling a little bit burnt out. Feeling creative is like the last thing that comes, quote unquote, naturally. But creativity does not necessarily have to be a branching out into bigger and better. More often, we create by filling in. where we see need, where we see holes, where we see lack. How quick can you see what your kid needs before your kid might not even see what they need? That's creativity, seeing a hole, a space, and filling it in. And it comes from nothing then. You don't have to like get energy to fill it. You just see it and you do it. And it feels like, oh yeah, but that was just needed to be done. That's creativity. So we create not by always branching out necessarily, but also by filling in. And I would say that's oftentimes faster and easier. And the third thing I want to offer you before we dive into anything that you're looking at in your life right now is that the truth is yin yang. That cool little symbol is really deep shit, right? Like everything is opposites all the time. Not because it's always a struggle, but literally because that's how the universe works is happy defines sad, up defines down. You have both as soon as you think one. So it can feel sad when we're like, I want love. And we immediately define it by saying, oh, I don't have a partner. I'm all alone. Or I want to make more money. And we go, oh, how am I going to do that? I don't know how. I've never done it before. I don't have very much money. So we see abundance and then immediately lack shows up. It's part of the cool creative system. So the good news is that we can't want creativity or try to be creative, or we'll think, I'm not creative. How do I learn how to be creative? The good news is that we get to show up with our whole self. And I'm going to give you a tiny little practice because when you can step into your whole self, desire will show up with wholeness on its own when you're even going, wait, I feel lacking. The opposite will work. I feel like I'm not creative. So then we can show you how you are creative. We'll use this tension of lack or of opposites for you. So I know probably you're sitting or running around or doing things, but I want to give you one quick practice because a lot of times I get asked, how do you do this? How do you just get creative really fast? I'd say the number one way is I just look around and see what's missing and then let my brain fill it in. And I know y'all have that here. But consider if you're at a party with your family and you're just overstimulated with all of the things, stepping into the bathroom. Nobody ever questions us when we're like, I got to use the restroom. Unless they question you, then that's a whole nother topic of coaching. But if you step into the bathroom, I want you to try something. Try it in your chair right now, even try it mentally right now. I want you to take a big breath. And then I want you to do another breath with creating a circle around you. Just a huge circle. The circle is a symbol of wholeness. Already, if you are feeling lack or stress, just create a circle around you. It's kind of like a hug. It's kind of like a creativity bubble that you are reminding yourself is all around you all the time and inside you. But just think circle, do circle, look yourself in the eye. And then we also had this call yesterday where people were asking questions about dopamine and addiction and how to get more dopamine going when you're doing small menial tasks. So I started thinking about that. And one of the cool ways that our brain creates a tiny squirt of dopamine is by raising our lip in a smile. That, boom, dopamine. And I can't tell you how many people I work with that are of more mature ages that have a hard time with that raising lip smile. It's kind of stilted. It's kind of quivery. It kind of got a little bit tamped down through life. So pairing a circle with raising your dang lip, I won't even call it a smile. Raise your lip. And that will help the brain start to stimulate some natural feel good stuff. Literally, boots on the ground stuff you can try. Now, will this work for you automatically? Probably not, because you're going to define it as the opposite. This worked for someone else, it doesn't work for me. But that's okay. It gets us into motion, already creating what might work for you. Capiche? Okay, we're going to do a quick little pause there.